Hello, we're back with COVID cooking. Took a little time off, so I'm back. I'll be honest with you, I need some ideas. So if you guys have stuff that you want to see, please reach out to me because I ran out of ideas. So before we get started, let's talk about this, the wine of the day. This is Quilt, excuse me, Napa Valley. It's made by the Wagner family. They make Camus and Conundrum. There's a whole bunch of Wagners. This is made by Joseph Wagner, and it is 100% Cabernet. It is really, really good, and it's like $30 a bottle. So not only is it not expensive, but you can buy it and drink it now, or you can hang on to it for a while. One way or the other, Quilt. This one was a 16. Rutherford, Napa Valley. Awesome wine. The second matter of business is Grumpy's is now in production. So, Grumpy's Fine Foods. All natural. This is garlic confit, which I did a video about garlic a while ago. So the confit is basically like any confit. It's cooked in oil at a very low temperature for a long period of time. So what you end up with is really sweet garlic. If you want, you can just take it out of the jar and smear it on bread, or make an aioli out of it, or make roasted garlic cream sauce. Real easy, great to use. If you want some of this, let me know. So today we're going to talk about grains and seeds and different kind of carbs. I'm going to talk about carbs. Let's do that now. Carbs in general. A lot of people are watching their carbs. The reason for that being that 50 or 100 years ago, when we were very active and our jobs and our lives were much more physical than they are now, we used to use a lot of carbs. You burn a lot of carbs. So what happens is, metabolically, when you eat carbs, it either goes in as glucose or one of the simple sugars, or your body breaks something like this down into those simple sugars. Your body will then store it as glycogen, which is what you use if you need fuel right now. If you've got a sprint or you are playing soccer or something like that, it's fuel that's available right now. The rest of it, your body will store as fat. So when your body goes to use fuel, it uses your glycogen first, and then muscle, literally muscle fiber, and then it uses fat last. So that is why the diets like keto and what's the other one? Dr. Atkins are very popular, because what they do is you train your body to burn fat instead of carbs, which is good for you physically, it's good for you metabolically. Anything that slows down the absorption of carbs is a good thing. So it's called a glycemic index. So things like processed flour, processed rice, things like that that are just stripped of all their nutrients, those things have a high glycemic index, which means they go right into your bloodstream in your stomach, and they spike your blood sugar, which means then that your pancreas will start producing insulin on a massive level. Okay, if this happens over an extended period of time, then your body becomes insulin resistant. In other words, you know, it's like your body's saying, well, your pancreas is crying wolf, so whatever. So it doesn't use that insulin, which is why we have so much type 2 diabetes among us now, because we eat a lot of foods that are processed to death. So today I'm going to talk about grains and seeds and whatever. These are all mostly carbs. We'll start with farro. I love this stuff. Absolutely love this stuff. If you want to have a meal and you don't want to have an actual protein, but you still want to get full, this stuff is awesome. I do it a few different ways. I started out making a salad for a family thing that we had, and now I have to have it every time family comes over. Farro has, I'm going to talk on all these things. I'm going to talk about the carb content, the protein content, and the fiber content. The fiber is important. So farro, these are all, excuse me, quarter cup servings. So farro, you're going to have 34 grams of carbs, which is a lot. But you're going to have 5 grams of fiber. Now, farro has the bran right on it. So it's the seed plus the seed casing. It is a grain. They're all seeds, to be honest with you. So you've also got 6 grams of protein on here, which is pretty good. So any of this is considered an ancient grain. Okay, and most of the ancient grains, they're not processed as much as, say, barley would be, or flour, or corn. So anytime you have the seed casing, you're going to have fiber, which slows down the absorption. You get a lower glycemic index. So even though it's 34 grams of carbs, you have all this fiber, you have all these extra nutrients you're getting. So this is a much healthier option than like white bread. Barley, the only barley I could find is pearl barley. The best barley, if you can get it, is hulled barley, because it still has this, like the farro, it still has the seed casing on it. The pearl barley does not. So I'm going to give you the numbers for hulled barley for a quarter cup. 37 grams of carbs, once again, that's a lot. But you have 9 grams of fiber. That's a lot. And 7 grams of protein. Barley's what they make scotch out of. Are you kidding me? So when they talk about malt is made from barley. What they do is they soak the barley until it sprouts, and then that's malted barley. And then they, for scotch, they will dry it over a kiln. That's a whole different story. But anyway, farro and barley are 2 of the ones that you can really do without any other protein in them, and they'll hold up pretty well. Barley is, you know, these have all been around forever. You know, you make beef barley soup or whatever you want with that. Good stuff, holds up well, low glycemic index on the barley. Quinoa, ancient grain. This is actually a seed. Now, don't forget that anything like wheat or farro, barley, the seeds that are in the plant itself, we're calling it a grain. It actually is a seed, but quinoa is a seed itself. So quinoa has 37 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fiber, that's a lot, and 7 grams of protein. There's a lot of other nutrients in quinoa. It takes a little getting used to. There is a recipe. I would suggest, if you want to do this right, Google perfect quinoa recipe, because there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. In basic terms, You have to make sure with both of these, you have to rinse them off. It's a good idea with all these to rinse them off. It's also a good idea with especially lentils, anything of the seed like that. I put it in a flat pan and look for imperfections, look for sometimes there's rocks in there, that kind of stuff. But these have like some dirt and some funk in them. So you rinse them off with a strainer, real good, and then get boiling water going, 2 to 1, put the quinoa in. As soon as it's absorbed all the water, take it off the heat, cover it, and just let it sit. And that way it's nice and fluffy. I've made it 3 or 4 different ways before that, and it came out kind of crappy. So look that up. Good stuff, takes a little getting used to. It's very fluffy. But once you get used to it, really good. I'm using orzo as the pasta du jour. Pasta's pasta, pretty much. If you get whole wheat pasta, it's sort of like using whole wheat flour. It's better if you think that it's going to be like hugely different in terms of nutrients and it's way better for you. It's really not that much. It's a little better for you. But when they use whole wheat, they use some whole wheat and they use some processed wheat. So pasta has 31 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber. Now, if you get whole wheat, that's where you're getting more fiber in it. And 5 grams of protein. Obviously, pasta's been around forever. There's a million different kinds of pasta. Couscous, there's 2 different kinds of couscous. There's a regular, really, really tiny couscous, and there's Israeli couscous, which is significantly bigger. Pasta. So, however you're counting it, it's pasta. I love pasta, but honestly, if you're watching your carbs, it's not real great for you. Oatmeal. Oatmeal may be the single best way to start your day. A bowl of oatmeal. You know, a lot of people don't like oatmeal. You know what? Get over it. Oatmeal has 14 grams of carbs, which is not a lot. It's really not. And 2 grams of fiber, 1 gram of protein. It requires your body to work to digest it. That's anything that's fiber. There's soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. This has soluble fiber. Anything that your body has to work to digest is a good thing because it's burning calories. So that cuts the caloric value of this stuff down. Did I do lentils?
No.
Okay, lentils. Lentils is a seed. Been around forever. Lentils has 20 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fiber. That's a lot. And 8 grams of protein. A lot of protein in this stuff. So I find it hard to do lentils without some kind of meat, whether it's a ham hock or sausage or something like that. In India, they've been doing it for a million years. Lentil dal, it's all vegetarian. It's good stuff. So good for you. Lentils really good for you. A lot of extra nutrients in the seed coat and easy to do. Real easy to do. Okay, regular processed white flour. I don't have any out here, but I thought I'd talk about it. Regular processed white flour, 23 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, which is nothing, and 3 grams of protein. So you've heard it said, you know, avoid eating anything that's white. That's why. When this stuff is, there is very little difference nutritionally between processed flour and processed sugar. When it goes into your body, they might as well be identical. They don't taste the same, but it goes the same way. It gets broken down very, very quickly into glucose. It goes straight into your bloodstream and it spikes your blood sugar. So that's why they tell you to stay away from white things. I hate to say it, but white rice is one of those things as well. White rice, 29 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 2 grams of protein. Now, brown rice has the seed coat on it. So brown rice gives you significantly more fiber, significantly more protein, significantly more nutrients, and a way lower glycemic index. Now, the taste profile is way different from brown to white. So if you're not used to brown rice, I always have to season it. I don't usually season white rice, but I always have to season brown rice. It needs, like, it always tastes to me like it needs something. But sort of like farro, it's very meaty. It doesn't require an extra protein. If you want to make it into something that's, you know, like a salad or like a composed meal, something like that. It can fly on its own. You have to season differently. It takes a lot longer to cook brown rice than white rice. What's left? I had to do this because, like a lot of people, I love my corn tortillas. Unfortunately, 2 of these bad boys is 21 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 2 grams of protein. So, not the best. Not the best. That sort of sums all this up. I wanted to finish with good news. Good news is, if you want a snack that you can actually not feel guilty about, I got these from Trader Joe's, but you can get it from anywhere. Pumpkin seeds. These things are awesome. Total carbs, 3. 3. That's for a quarter cup. Dietary fiber is 2. So the net carbs on this is 1. 1. Nothing. You can eat these all day. And it's got a ton of fiber. So good for you. I'll be honest with you, it's not the tastiest thing in the world, but you know, I'm a snacker, so if you got a snack, snack on this stuff. Did I forget anything? I think I got it all. Okay, that's it for now. Please, please, please send me suggestions, anything you want to see, anything you want to know about, anything that you would like me to do. My sister asked me to do New England clam chowder, so I'll probably do that. Probably do paella pretty soon. So we'll catch you next time. Be healthy, wear a mask, and vote. Thanks.